Greetings and welcome to smartwatchtips.com. Kospet is back with their fall 2024 lineup of ruggedized, hardened, beautiful smartwatches. The Tank S2 is a follow-on, of course, to the original Tank S1, which was a beautiful ladies' smartwatch. This one, in multiple colors, doubles as a men's, ladies, you name it, smartwatch. It's a really nice module. As you can see on the side of the box, it's got a 1.32-inch AMOLED screen display. It handles Bluetooth calling, 24/7 heart monitoring, blood oxygen in this one, and smart sleep tracking. It's got dual band and 6 satellite positioning GPS, and boy, does it work well. I've been using it for a few days and testing that out. Compass, accelerometer in there, barometric pressure is in here. You've got the 15 different standards for the tests for the MIL-STD-810H certification. We'll play with a little bit of that too today. 5 ATM waterproofing and IP69 rating on that one, and 170 plus sports modes with smart recognition, meaning you begin and it can tell what you're doing and take off from there. The Kospet Tank S2 is available right now on nice discount sale, $119.99, directly from their Kospet website. Got a link in the show notes to take you right over there. You can get it in white, sure, but if you like all the different colors, check them out. Hey, rich, beautiful, whatever mood, whatever style. Maybe you want two. Who knows? They're all bands color coordinated with the dials. Excellent. In terms of specs now, let's run through it real quick. You've got lily white, violet, pink, iris green, straw flower black. You saw those colors just now. There's your dimensions, the material. It's using Gorilla Glass 3. It's a 5 ATM IP69 waterproof. That's all part of that ruggedized body. AMOLED screen, 1.32-inch with 466 by 466 pixels, leading to a PPI of almost 500. Amazing. Lithium-ion battery. There's your basic time frames, 2.5 hours to charge fully from being dead. Well, pretty much empty. Your usage scenario, 6 to 10 days. For typical heavy use, about 3 days. AOD, that's always on display, drops it down about half from 6 to 3 to 5 days. And using continuous GPS, of course, is going to eat up a lot of power. So use your power management as you need. There's some more information, the positioning for it, the sensors. We've talked all about that briefly. Removable straps, 170 different sport modes. Talks about some of those. We're going to see all that in the review, so let's continue. The module itself now is packed in this nice little carrying case. It's the watch you want, they say. And again, it's certified, and they really talk about that quite a bit because it takes a lot to become MIL certified like that. When we take off the covering on here and reveal the module, you can see it's got some etching in black on here. There's select and back on this side, and up and down on the left side. On the bottom, you've got all your sensors, a 2-pin charger, your speaker over here. This is like a barometric pressure hole for the air to come in. Microphone, I think, is on the other side. Anyway, it's got it all. And inside here, we have the matching black bands that'll go on it. You've got some screen protector equipment. There's the wipes, the clean, and the screen protectors themselves to put on it. And that's a nice thick glass one too. So you can set up your own screen protectors. You've got a little user's manual. Wow. All right. It's an accordion kind. We have to pull out. We'll take a look at that. And then in the accessories side box, we also have the charging dock, and it's an actual dock, and the watch module. Where did it go? Well, there it is, hiding. The module, you line the pins up, sits right on here. It's magnetically coupled, so easy, it won't fall off, and it just snaps right into place. That's it. We'll put the bands on it here and check it out for you. Take a quick look at the user's manual. It's using a This is a multi-use. Oh, okay, they got a PDF of the manual right here if you want to look at it. There's the information on the device itself, what's coming in the box. Quick look at about the watch. The app is called Kospet Fit, and we'll take a look at that. We've seen that before, and we'll see it a bit again today with the data that's from this actual watch. App registration, sign in, how you pair it. It's very quick pairing, Bluetooth calling setup, and so forth. There's the different watch gestures, which is just sliding up and down and across the screen. And then the buttons on the side, the select button and what it will do for you. Continue over here, the back button, the up button. Good. Nice that they have all the different things that these buttons can do. And then the down button, right? Okay. Then changing the watch faces, how you do that. And of course, you can do that from the app in there too, in the settings. The different technical specifications and warranty policy, FCC information, and some important notes. Activation is by pushing the upper right-hand button. You got to hold it for a while, by the way. This is in what they're calling straw flower black. It also comes in iris green, violet pink, and lily white. It does sound like it's a lady's watch, doesn't it? Well, it works for a lady or a guy. It's a smaller overall screen than the other Kospet lines of watches. Now, to begin with, we are looking at the S2, right? This is the original S1. So just to show you by comparison, a little bit of the changes in the bezel. It's got a little bit more 3D contour now. The buttons have changed. Let's see if we got the right buttons powering over here. Yeah. See, these are little round silver buttons, and these have become more flattened and integrated with the case. You only have one button. Now we have an up and down button. The bands are still integrated nicely together, and overall, the back has been improved in its contour and fit, and the charging has moved to the other end of the watch, it looks like. So similar, slight differences there. And we'll look at a deeper comparison in a future video on these, but we are with the S2 now, and this is one of the many opening watch faces, and you can see the beautiful contrast on the screen, the colors and everything. It also has the always on mode, and you have a great selection of different faces you can put on. This is a combination analog digital. I just love this one, but you can have pure analog or digital. You'll see those in the app. You can set it up for twist your wrist to see the time, but I personally like to tap to bring the screen up and cover it to turn it off if you want to. Hello? Behave. Okay. But any which way you want to contour it, these are the features of Kospet watches, which are really nice budget rugged watches that do all of the fancy stuff for the adventurer with mil standard hardening at a much lower price than competition. In here, you got the Bluetooth calling. You can toggle that on. And, of course, you got speaker, microphone, everything built in here. Your brightness levels, and they toggle up to really, really... I'm looking at the camera, and you can't even see the icon on there. It's actually orange. There you go. But straight on full bright. This is huge number of nits. I'm not sure how many, but it's way up there. Easy to see outdoors. Do not disturb your power level. That silences the watch, and then your overall settings, and you can come over and add another page if you want to, and these are the selections you have to choose from. All kinds of stuff. Twist your wrist, the flashlight. A lot of these I don't even recognize. Look at that. You can lock the screen. I think that's to cover the screen if you want to. Different ways of displaying your data. You even have an SOS button you can integrate in here. And you just add them to that list, and you can reorder them any way you want to as well. So lots of capabilities with this watch. Now, when we go to the left, we get into our overall app drawer. And before, if you remember, you went through all kinds of cards that talked about the heart rate and your step count and blood oxygen, things like that. So we'll look at those. When you go off to your left, you get notifications sent from your phone if you have any. When you go down, we already looked at that. When you go up now, you get into a consolidated page of all kinds of goodies. It's showing you, basic date, your synopsis of your calories burned, distance traveled, and steps, and then in miles or kilometers, however you have it set up. If you got music set, Bluetooth paired to your phone, you can play it from right here. Your heart rate information, blood oxygen, and blood pressure are all there. Stress, emotion, weather in your area, including the forecast or the current conditions, alarms if you set them, last night's sleep time, workout records are here, women's health, if you set that up, is all in here. There's your altimeter, your meters above sea level, and your altimeter reading. You've got an integrated stopwatch that I'm pretty sure runs in the background for you. And you got countdown timers, and you can edit all of these, move them around in different order if you want to, and take some of them out if you'd like to. All of that flexibility. So you really only need to look at your screen, your time face, and swipe up, and you can get to anything you want. You want to test one? You can come over here, see the daily amount numbers, and of course you can activate it here. And when we do put our finger on the back, see if we can catch it. Yep, it's using the red diode technology. That's a distinction. The watches that use red diodes are usually a little bit more accurate overall. But again, test the accuracy of your watch with your calibrated instruments. And all these other things like blood pressure, it will show you your results on the hour. If you have that set up, you can do stress. There's the chart for stress, and you can measure it instantaneously. And this is interesting, emotion. There's like a red and a yellow and a blue, and I guess my morning time was red, high stress. I'm not sure why. That's while I was asleep. That's interesting. And then it's kind of been moderate throughout the day, but that's available. You see that in the app as well. So all of these different things are selectable to go into any of them, as opposed to going linearly through every single one of them. So we covered everything there. When you tap here, you're back into all of your apps. The calling is broken up, of course, into your contacts, call logs, and keypad. With the SOS, if you set that up, that you can make an SOS call as long as the phone is with you, and you have it Bluetooth tethered that way. Here's your daily activity. That's the step count information. And show more. We'll show you your details over the past few days. Your calories, steps, and distance traveled is all in here as well. Then you've got your workouts. These are all the different exercises you can do. They're also accessible through pushing a side button, I believe. Pool swim, open water swim. I did mention it's heavily waterproofed, right, with that MIL standard spec on it. There's your heart rate. There's the current. Resting heart rate is here. Those are visible for you, and you can take the current measurement as simple as just touching it. You've got last night's sleep time. There's your sleep stages, the total time of your sleep, and bedtime, wake-up time. No settings on those, so maybe you didn't record that. I did wear it last night, though. Oh, there's the breakdown. Okay, shows you the overall chart and more information, which how much time you spent in each of these different areas. REM, light, deep sleep are there. And any naps, and I took an hour nap today, guys. Don't tell him this is 6, okay? She thinks I'm working. Anyway, that's in sleep. Blood pressure, blood oxygen, we looked at all of those. This is a tap to measure everything all at once. It takes 60 seconds, and it will do a consolidated measurement. Music player. Here's some music queued up on the phone, and let's listen to it. There we go. It's playing out of the watch. Can tap the speaker to silence it if you want to. We could change the volume, change forward or back on the songs. Really nice, really loud, good tonal quality, and works really well for Bluetooth calling as well. Your voice assistant, when you have that set up, Google or Siri. The weather report in your area, compass. Now, we got to do this calibration periodically, and when it snaps back into the compass mode, there you go. I'm sitting in the north. Straight ahead is south, and you got yourself an accurate little compass on here. Sweet, huh? Yeah. Okay. Here's your barometric pressure. It took a dip for some reason. And there's your altitude information. So if you're moving and changing, this should correlate with that change in altitude. You got the overall breathing exercises. You can set up duration and pace and then exercise with those or relax. Notifications sent from your phone again, which you could get to from sliding the other way. There's that stopwatch still running in the background. Yep, nice. Alarms, timers, basic calculator on this one with decent sized digits that are easy to read. And that works really well. Remote shutter for your phone. There's the flashlight that powers up the AMOLED screen to full brightness. And yeah, you can see easily with that one. Find your phone, women's health again, that you set that up in the app and it'll let you know where you are. And then your overall settings. This is where you can change the watch faces. We were looking at that one. Before I change that, I want to show you that it's an active face. I can tap this one and go into whichever exercise I want to and begin immediately. If I want, I can tap here and see my barometric pressure. And then heart rate, you can come over here. So you have some active buttons with this particular face. However, if you want to change the face, and I could go into settings here to get to it, you can slide to some different ones. There's a nice analog one, another one with butterflies and stuff. This is a face I downloaded from the store, and I like this one. It integrates well with that always-on display. The hands line up really nicely, and you can see that edge-to-edge screen with the gold border around it. That's sweet. All right, we can go back into settings this way. So I'll show you a few more. There's another downloaded one that I like for nighttime. It's not too bright, you know. Here's another one that's kind of a gold analog again. Then you got your digital ones. You can change the picture. You've got some that have some animation going on it, like this one. You've got a few different other ones. Like there is a digital one. Another one. So quite a few. And a bunch that you can select from the store itself. So from settings, you can also go into selecting your language, follow the app, or turn that off and pick your language from the list. There's quite a few that are supported in Kospet watches. You're seeing them right here. And again, if you switch to follow the app, it'll pick it up from whatever language is on in your phone. The always-on display mode, you can follow the current watch faces integrated always on display, because some of these faces come with two, like the Wear OS faces do. Or you can do custom, and if you do custom, you can check the face gallery and pick any of these as your stock and standard always on display. That one is the one we're seeing. You also have a nice digital one. You have another different type of analog one. There's one where you got a spot of color in your always-on display. That's nice, but it uses a little more battery power. Same thing here. Let's switch to that one for fun. Then you can set it for all day, or you can set a schedule so it's not showing up at night if you want to. And that's all done directly from the app here. Here's your display and brightness, where you can set the brightness level. You can turn on the raise to wake or the tap to wake controls. And this is where I like personally to do the tap to wake, and because when I'm wanting to look at the watch, I can just touch it. But some people like to just under the table twist their wrist and see it. You can get that there. Here you go. There's the always-on display that's got that orange in it too. And I can just tap to bring it back because I have that activated. Where are we? Sound and vibration, simple. Here's your media audio. You turn that on and you'll be able to stream music from your phone when you get to the music player through the watch if you want to. Or you can activate silent mode and it'll silent your alarms, but ringtones for calls will come through. Then your themes for how you display your apps. I'm in list mode, but you have these called honeycomb and turbulence and hub, whirring, waterfall. different ways of just simply seeing all of this in icon form. Password for the phone, time and date you can set up, overall do not display. Sport recognition now, if you turn this on, it's going to use more power because it's monitoring what you're doing. But if you get out and start walking or running, and I think you go for about 10 minutes or so, it will notice what you're doing by somehow picking that up, and it will turn that tracking feature on, and you'll then have that workout recorded. But it does take more drain on your battery. The bottom key setting is this one down here. You have all these different selections to choose from. Wow, goes on and on and on. And guess which one I've had it on? Compass. Then you got this cover lock. You can activate that to cover the screen, to turn it off, like so, and you can bring it back. And that's just a toggle on and off. A QR code for pairing the watch. It gets like super bright, but your phone should pick it up during the pairing process. And your system menu for restart, power off, or reset the watch completely. And then that's about the watch. It's the Tank S2 that we're working with from Kospet. Now let's switch over to the app and take a look at that. From the Google Play Store, you're looking for the Google Fit app. This is what the thumbnail looks like, and when you've got it installed and set up with your watch, which is really easy to do under the device button, you'll land on this home page. I like that you can choose the dark mode on it. You can have it track your phone system, light or dark, or switching at night. Very, very flexible there. You can resync it just by simply pulling down. You've got the weather in your area here. Tap that, you get into much more detail for your weather. It's just updated now, showing you when I walked my major steps, almost a whole hour of walking, 3,000 steps in 1 hour. There they all are. There's your today's information, and you can show more if you want to. Day, week, or month are available. Heart rate. You can see it over your time frame. All the way up to the current time. Usually the chart goes all 24 hours and it's only part way filled in, but this one it keeps expanding further and further as you get until the day is complete, and then you can go back and look at yesterday's, and there's yesterday's heart rate information. And it's showing you your range and the zones that you've been in while you've been working out, and a little bit about heart rate. After that, you've got your sleep cycles. There's REM sleep. I don't have any awake up here, otherwise it would be yellow. Do I have any yesterday? Yeah, I do. There's a few awake times yesterday. Here's REM sleep, light sleep, and deep sleep. They're finally standardizing, not necessarily on the colors, but on the sequence, where awake is wide awake, and then REM, I don't know why is after that. I would have put that down near deep, but REM, and then light, and then deep. And how much time you spend in each of them. Then you've got blood oxygen. This is taking it regularly every sequence time frame you've set, like once an hour or so. And it should be between 90 and 100, better between 95 and 100. This is nice. The chart only goes from about 80 to 100, so you can actually see some difference in these lines here. And yesterday's looked like that. There was an hour off when it was charging or something. Stress levels are here. Relax, normal, moderate, and high. Now that looks way different than what we saw on the watch, but that's a different one yet, emotion or something like that. Anyway, here's yesterday's information for stress. Yeah, that was this mood one. Okay, blood pressure. It only takes an incremental value when you test it. It's not doing continuous blood pressure. Or you can get continuous blood pressure if you turn it on as one of the options in the app, and you can see them clustering together here, systolic over diastolic, and you set the time frame you'd like them over all of this. Then mood. Here's my mood. All right. I was positive as the blue, and peaceful is the green. And I haven't been negative yet. Thank goodness. So that's everything here. You can edit the cards and change the order if you want to. Then you can select the sports tab, you get into the sports management area. You can execute any of these activities directly from the phone. However, remember the watch has GPS built into it. Here's a couple of exercises I did without taking the phone with me and using the GPS built into it. I can go into these sports records here. That was an outdoor walking one. And there you go. Now, it's a little complex to see, but that's my house in GPS zoomed in with your regular map, Google Map portrayal. And interestingly, there aren't any curves. It's just point, point, point. So there's straight lines at different increments. I imagine a second or two, considering I was walking continuously in a round path. But nonetheless, that's what you get in terms of the picture, and your basic information's on the bottom. You can go to details. It'll show you your workout specifics, including heart rate, step count, stride length, all of that stuff. And then a chart that shows you your heart rate and where you were in your zones and even your cadence on this. And that's pretty much it for the sports section. Device now, it's the Tank S2, battery level, watch face gallery, display brightness you can change, raise to wake. All these controls that we did on the watch itself, you can do from the phone. You can set these different things up as well. Health monitoring is where you can turn on heart rate, blood oxygen, stress, and mood. All of those are selectable. Each and every one of them takes a little drain on your battery, so balance it how long you think you're going to need to go between charges. Here you can sync your contacts from the phone to the watch, SMS, emergency number. This is where you would put that contact in to have the phone call automatically. Updates, clear your data, unpair the watch if you want to, and then your overall profile for you. Your bio stuff here. You can log out if you want to. You can add more devices. It'll only use one at a time, right? But you can switch between them. This is the Tank S2. Your basic profile. We looked at all of that just now. Goal settings. Ladies, there's your cycle information and some other stuff. Third parties. You can use Strava or Health Connect with this particular one. And FAQs and feedback. And that's the app. And here it is on, always on mode or in your watch face mode. It's the Tank S2 from Kospet. Really, really sweet watch. And remember, you can pick it up in a variety of different colors and styles. They're really gorgeous. I love how the bands and the bodies all integrate together well. So white, black, or any color combination. It's available right now from the Kospet official store, the Tank S2 smartwatch, and got a link in the show notes for you to pick it up. It's on a really good discount at the moment. But wait, we're not done. We are now going to switch gears slightly. I've had for a little while a thermal camera that I've wanted to show you, but of course I do smartwatch reviews, right? Well, a way we can blend that in is to play with some of this MIL standard hardening, ruggedized capability of these and get the watch really cold and really hot and see how it does it. So we're going to do that with this one right now. Greetings and welcome to smartwatchtix.com. You are about to see the world's second smallest thermal camera. There it is. And it fits on the bottom of an Android phone. It's called the P2 Thermal Imager. It's available directly from Amazon for about $250, but you can apply right now their instant $50 coupon. When you put it in the cart, get ready to check out. Make sure you enter our special additional discount, TIX P2 10, to take 10% more off and drop it down to about $182. You want it from the website directly? You betcha, they've got one. It's available through the Thermal Master website. I got a special link for you, bit.ly/thermalmaster. That ties it into that additional 10% discount using that TIX P210 coupon. Or you can jump over to eBay and buy it directly there and use the coupon as well. Wow, this is a fun little thing, and we, of course, being a smartwatch review channel, are going to use it to check out how accurate these specs are on smartwatches that claim to be able to handle low and high temperatures. Inside this little container is a tiny, tiny little, wow, sweet little module that is actually the thermal camera itself. It interfaces to a phone, and from there you can use the screen on the phone to see things in thermal imaging. You also have some adapters that go with it. There's an extender cable if you don't want it on the very bottom of the phone. You can plug it into here, and then you can roam it around anywhere you want to, upside down, inside of a pipe, whatever you'd like to do. But we're just going to stick it to the bottom of a phone. And the phone I'll be using for this experiment isn't any ordinary phone. It's also a thermal phone. Using a FLIR thermal camera, the Blackview BL8800 Pro has this system built directly into it, so we'll have two different thermal views of the experiment on this special watch. You're looking at the table surface right there in thermal. This is the watch itself. You can see it's slightly warmer. It's actually telling you what the temperature is. Now, we're going to take the module, and with the addition of a little adapter I picked up from Amazon, I'm going to flip it around and plug it in the bottom of the phone. Immediately switches over to the app associated with this camera. And now I'm going to have to move everything back a little bit as it launches. And there is the watch. Okay, right there against the background here. And if I tap here and give me a point and tap it in here, you'll see the temperature is correlated on this one as well. So you have two different systems, about a $500-600 FLIR camera built into a phone, or this fun little tiny module for a couple of $100 that can do basically the same thing. Let's get started with the actual experiment now. Now the MIL-STD-810H is really, really tough on... Whoa, what happened there? I think the phone just shut down. Yep, the phone died. It's charged back up again. We're ready to go. It's tomorrow already. And we're going to take this experiment from the top. Now, I was mentioning that the MIL-STD-810H is pretty severe on a lot of the different stress tests. So we're not going to be able to do a lot of those with this watch, but we will do the temperature test. At least we'll work with this one. I'm going to take the bands off. It's going to make it easier to mess around with this module. And we're going to drop that in the cold water. But first, let's start a stopwatch so we can time this whole thing. Now, we got the thermal cameras. We got the watch ready to go. Let's plunk the module in. And it is underwater. Oh my goodness, are we not going to be able to see the stopwatch? Come back here. Oh, you know what? It's not touch sensitive when you go underwater. Okay. Well, we'll look at it when we're done, and we're not done yet. So I want to have the watch in the water. Let's grab the thermal cameras and check this out. And the watch is right there. I'm showing 49.5. Now you see the colors change, and it adapts the scale here to get the best reading, so you can see the differences in between. So we're actually looking at the area in the water where the watch is, and it's above 32 degrees. It's about 48.5, 49.5. Now I want to switch back over to the other camera. Here's the FLIR camera coming up. Now, of course, the camera module on this one's up on the top, so we'll slide it over. Now, you notice something different. You can actually make out the pattern of the watch there. It's upside down, I guess, for us. And that is a special feature of the FLIR camera inside the phone. That flash, by the way, is it's recalibrating constantly. So in a higher level, more expensive device, you're going to be able to have distinguishing outlines of patterns and things. But if you look at the blobs of the color, that's the thermal reading itself. And the watch now underwater is about 48.7, so 49. Coming up in about the same reading. You get over here to where the ice cubes are, and there you're down to freezing, as it should be. You get around to the edge of the bowl and down to the tabletop, and you see we're getting into 85 degrees and such right there. So what I'm going to do to really make sure this is getting colder, I'm going to drop this whole bowl in the freezer for a while. And of course the stopwatch is running, and we'll check where the stopwatch is after we pull it out and test it. So I got this little clip for you to watch to tell you a little bit more about the thermal cameras while we're doing that. So one of the things that's pretty cool about living at the base of a rainforest out in the middle of nowhere is occasionally you have some of the outdoor critters come in and pay you a little visit. And of course, after a little while, you can train them to lick at the icing on cinnamon rolls. And this particular one, yeah, she's got a real sweet tooth. So I thought it might be fun to play with thermal imaging. Here we go. You notice it flashes periodically to kind of reset the temperature, I guess, across the whole pattern. There's a lizard coming in, and discovered the little treat on my finger. He's registering about 96 degrees. My finger, about 97, a little over. So why the difference? Well, we'll get to that. Now let's switch to the Thermal Master. I've got a little more information on this one now. I've got 2 points that we're measuring the temperature, and they're shown up here with the scale shown on the side. Of course, all these different cameras, you can modify them many different ways to show different things. What I'm drawing your attention to here is the quality of the video as we run through it. Let's play this one. And you'll follow the P1 is the temperature up here, and the platform is there at about 87 degrees. There's my finger lit up at 94. The lizard lit up at about 90. You notice they're both a bit cooler than what was on the FLIR. Well, I used the FLIR first, and then this one was after that, and everything is cooling down a little bit. But still, why in the world would the lizard be so hot? Here's why. This is a picture in the kitchen. There's the refrigerator. This is the platform we just videoed on. And there's the lizard sitting on top of a little power adapter. I have a nightlight on top of the refrigerator. And that little puppy gets warm. And the lizards like to warm up. Just to show you how accurate this is, what you just saw go over there is a lizard that's not been on the power block. And here's this same lizard we just fed who just got off of it. Look how warm he is. And this one, he's waiting to lick some honey out of this little thing here, but he's basically ambient temperature. And that's the cool thing about these thermal cameras. So not all as it appears under regular light at all, Okay, we're back. We're good and frozen. One of the other fun things about having a thermal camera that's external from the phone, as you saw me fumbling around there trying to get everything to line up, is you can use an extension cable, and this one comes with this cable, or you can buy a longer one. And when you activate the camera, there we go, you can tap the camera, let it activate, and now you have the ability to roam around with the camera like this. There's the phone, there's the bowl, and of course we got to get our temperature stuff up here, so let's put a point on there. So the whole bowl is down around 35, 36 degrees. And the watch is in here. You don't see the watch module with the Thermal Master. Wow, that's cool. The differential of my finger, 88.5 versus 37, 38. But we do see it here on this camera, right? So I'm going to switch back to the FLIR, and then we'll come back to this one. And with the FLIR now, we can hover over here. And we do see a bit of the outline of the watch itself. And it's coming in at 28, 29 degrees. So there's a bit of a different temperature differential we're noticing. This is below 32, below freezing. Whereas the Thermal Master was giving us a little bit above. Now if I did this right, the bowl itself is frozen, but not solid. It's like lightly frozen. So I got a spoon out. Hopefully we can break through it. Yep. Okay, so we'll be able to lift the watch element up and get it out. I'm doing that while we're doing it on the thermal camera. Okay, now I'm gonna put this right there. We're getting a nice temperature measurement, jumping up to 42, 43. So I think what we were measuring maybe was the surface of the water before. 50 degrees and rising. But of course, the watch is working great. Now we're going to move the bowl out of the way and switch cameras. Here we go. Wow, you can see a lot of contrast here. Here's this phone. What's its temperature? 90 degrees. There's the bowl of water. What I love about the Thermal Master is the sharp edges around things. It has the ability with this X3. If I touch that, it turns it off and everything's a little fuzzier. But turn that on and it sharpens things back up again. Anyway, that's that temperature. The spoon is sitting over here. And there's the watch module. And although we can't read the dial, but you can definitely see the contour of it. And its temperature, 56 degrees. It's up there where my thumb is. Move that away, you can see it a little easier. 55 degrees. So it certainly survived the shock of all of this. And if we tap into here and go into stopwatch, it's almost been an hour that it's been running. It's fogging up on the surface now. But definitely survived the hardening criteria for underwater for an extended period of time, as well as a cold temperature down around freezing and below. So that was cold. How about hot? Yeah, I have got the watch set back up on a different platform now. The bowl's upside down. I left the stopwatch running just for fun. And now we're going to take the hairdryer. The hairdryer. And warm the watch up. I'm going to be using the Thermal Master the whole time for this because it's just too awkward to try to do the FLIR camera and heat it up and all of that. I have two temperature buttons. I don't have to point with the hairdryer. I have two points here. I have a P1 and a P2. I'm going to try to put the P1 on the watch. It's about 87. They're both about the same. And P2 is down here somewhere on the bowl, about right there. And we'll heat it up with the blow dryer, see how it does as we get to higher temperature. Oh, by the way, it's going to get loud, so turn your volume down and we'll talk in a little while. Here we go. Let's get this just right. Okay. Whoa, it's blowing. Whoa! Right away it's heating up. Wow. We're about 175 or so. That's plenty hot for me. Okay, you can turn your volume up. I won't do it again. Wow, 180 in that corner there. It's starting to come down. That's plenty hot if you left the watch in the car accidentally. Oh yeah, it's too hot to touch. How about the backside? Nice. The plate on the back is really cool. Comparatively, the edges are more. Youch. Youch. The screen looks great. Let's come back. Ow, boy, the button's hot. Okay, I don't know if the button's not working. Oh, you know what? I got to slide out of here. There. There. There's the watch face. There's the temperature, 134 still. The colors are beautiful. It's working really, really good. So in my limited, and even the always on, and my limited ability to test, we have done both cold and hot and passed those 2 of the 15 certifications for the MIL-STD-810H of these Kospet watches. And Thermal Master, I think it says right there, Thermal Master is the little camera module that we've been using today. And these guys sent this out for us to play with and show you and compare it to an existing FLIR camera, which is what I did for you earlier as well. But this is the one that's got my attention, the Thermal Master P2. Really amazing. Normally about $250. Right now they're listing it at $199. bit.ly/thermalmaster will take you over there and maybe get an even deeper discount. Check it out. You can also pick it up through Amazon for about $250. It's retail price. However, you can apply an instant $50 coupon discount. And here's a treat. When you get to your checkout, you add this code in the gift promotional code voucher area, TIX P210, it'll let you take an additional 10% off of that $250 price, dropping it to about $182. You also have the option of buying it from eBay, all kinds of ways of picking this one up. So, which one do you want between these two type of thermal cameras? Let's show you one last clip. I asked Mrs. Tix to head out onto the yard in front of our house. This is the carport and driveway, or the driveway and the road, and do a little, do some freeform qigong for us. And this is last night's thermal recording of that. And this is using the FLIR camera. Now, I noticed one thing, the calibration's off on the temperatures. I think this is just a matter of recalibrating everything, but she's certainly not 103.4 degrees hot. I think so, but in actuality, it's a bit cooler. But anyway, here you go. Where the diamond is what the temperature is, and you can see her in the thermal view right there. You can make out arms and legs. And by the way, here's our car in the carport driveway area, cooling down. The engine's 112. I don't think so. You're going to see in just a moment from the Thermal Master what that looks like. But nonetheless, here you go. Let me switch you over to the Thermal Master. There's the same thing. Look at this. Look at the clarity in that. You can literally make out her entire form. There's the little P1, tells you what the temperature is. You can select those, 90-ish. The car's about 80-ish. The ambient temperature is about 85. And guess what? Without touching it, now watch, you can zoom up to 15x directly while recording. Imagine if you're tracing an animal out in the woods, or I don't know, whatever you're recording, you can have incredible video, clear, concise, nice. So this again is the Thermal Master and the FLIR cameras compared. So if you're interested in this one, I'm going to have a link in the show notes for you to hop over to pick it up. And of course, we got links for the smartwatch, the Kospet S2, and all sorts of other information. So always be sure to check the show notes. That's it for the day. We will see you again soon. Bye.